what your strengths are, and then everything gets like more clarified in that terms.
Yeah. So it's really understanding, listening, right?
Yeah.
Along
So
the way.
it's a
And
little bit like the market guiding your growth a little bit,
Mhm.
because if there is demand in the market for a certain thing, or if there is like a market gap that you are well positioned to fill, then you find it and then you know where to be.
I
Mhm.
see. I see. So what are your projections now? If you're just focusing on your business,
Mhm.
from what you're seeing, right? You're doing the local market analysis, right? In the next year or two, as you look at the market conditions, how do you see the space for what you're doing growing?
I mean, there will always be need for new medicines. And
Mm,
as long as there's a need for new medicines, the life science industry is going to, keep trying to
mm,
churn new medicines out, because that's why we exist. And as long as there are scientific institutions that are creating new science that
mm,
needs to be disseminated to either the public or to other scientists,
mm,
the the need for science communicators is going to exist. I
mm.
think what has definitely changed, and because surprisingly, I don't know if 7 years is long or not, but I feel like a veteran in the industry a little bit now. What I've definitely seen transform in the span of time that I have been around is that a lot more people are becoming aware of the need for science communication. Like a lot more grants have places for it. After the whole pandemic, a lot more people have woken up to the need for continuous public engagement and continuous science communication channels being open between scientists and the public and within scientists themselves. So I feel like the pandemic kind of transformed the scene a little bit.
Mm.
And also, a lot of scientists have become aware of this being a career path that can give them like some kind of fulfillment. And so I do see like a lot of newcomers in the space, and I see like a lot of people trying to make it a little bit and kind of pushing their skills towards this side. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Growth, and I think yeah, they're probably coming to you for advice as well, right?
Mhm.
But do you think like technologies such as AI are a threat to what you do, or is it an asset?
Uh, I would a threat, I would say no, because I mean it's definitely not there yet to be a threat.
Mhm.
If at all, people would be even more mindful of using it and come to Illustrate as a bit more, because by the time you get the AI to make something accurate for you, which you can like show without getting publicly shamed, is gonna be I mean, so threat, not yet. Definitely not yet.
I see. I see.
Um, it scares me a little bit because I have also seen a lot more noise in the systems that we use. Like for examples, I used to rely on Google search. Even if you remember, like even during a webinar, I did like started my process with a Google search. But now sometimes when you search for something, you get half AI generated and half real. And that is like a big problem, because at the end of the day, it becomes harder for us to tell what is real and what is not. So for scientific research purposes, at least, we cannot use Google anymore. And it is that is probably a bit more difficult, So these are like small places where even for like small science journalism stuff, like the other day I saw a article on brain organoids where there was literally a brain on a dish, which is completely wrong. The
Mhm.
size of the brain was inaccurate. The brain had like arms or something weird like that. These are the kind of things that scare people away. And when not used correctly, then you get into a lot of trouble. And so I would say that I would be scared for science communication a little bit.
Mm.
Um, okay, that being said, there are ways that you can use AI tools, at least in my industry, to actually help us out a little bit. Like, say, for example, making textures. You ask. the AI to make like you a nice texture and you can use it for like 3D work or whatever. Or maybe like AI can make like an entire 3D scene from a prompt. And those are like ways you can probably speed things up. I haven't been able to move past the ethical conundrum of using AI yet. Like this whole thing of the foundation being stolen art from artists who are still trying to make a living,
Right.
real world. So that is like a very it's like and also like the whole thing of like if the whole world puts creatives out of a job, then will the world have any joy left? So these are like the more ethical considerations that I'm still battling with.
Yeah. Wow. Well, in this Symbiont, I mean, we're gonna keep track of you and seeing how things develop, and we would love to have you back to share more lessons as you're going to be learning a ton, right? And things are changing so quickly with AI, and I was just recently had a conversation with someone who's doing virtual reality, and there's a whole set of other things to think about, right, in that domain, right? But we're gonna leave it there, Radhika. Thank you so much for the insights. I mean, look forward to having you back very soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much for the invitation and chat soon.